my name is Kevin Traynor. I'm the Learning and Development Professional at Roadrunner / Orientation Manager. Well, with very good question, because what was happening is with the different spider legs that Roadrunner had, I heard about online training and I immediately said, no way, no way. I said, no way, because we've got too many different companies doing too many different things. And I said, there's no company out there that's going to be able to handle all the different types of things we do. I said, there's no way. And so I pushed it off, kept pushing it off. Somebody would mention online training. I said, no, I'm pushing that off. I said, because when you go online, you're going to lose the one-on-one, the personal contact and orientation. I said, so I didn't want to do it. And I pushed it off for as long as I could. And then my boss one day said, we're going to do it, you know. So because he had experienced Infinit-I in a former life, our company like Infinit-I, and so that's how we got started with Infinit-I. And all my perceptions, all those perceptions now are now gone. Infinit-I is able to meet the need. What it has changed for us, since I'm over orientation, I look at more of the orientation piece of Roadrunner. And what it's done is it has streamlined our orientation process. And because we do have a few company drivers mixed in, but primarily independent contractors, what it's done for us is it streamlined that orientation process, saved us money where we would maybe would have had an orientation to drag out 2 or 3 days. It saved us money for those company drivers. We don't have to stretch those orientations out as long. And with all the different companies, you know, we got different challenges, but every orientation now and every leg that's using it has orientation has been streamlined. And not only streamlined, but now with the as big as Roadrunner is, now everybody's doing the same thing. We're pulling from the same pool of videos. We're pulling from the same basket. Absolutely. And the reason I believe that we saw the difference is that these drivers are able to do this uh, prior to coming to orientation. So the way we word it is orientation starts when you get the email for the module. That's when orientation starts, not when you get to orientation. That's the second phase when you physically come. So the drivers are able to do all the whatever we choose as a template for them, CSA, hours of service, hazmat, whatever we choose, they're able to cover all that before they come to orientation. The recruiting department uses it as a recruiting tool to say, hey, listen, you can start your orientation while you're home watching March Madness. You can start your orientation while you're sitting on your couch at the house. You can start your orientation before you even get here. And that's one of the elements that I think that recruiting uses to help with that process. Yes, yes, it is. And what's happening is if you look at a time frame, keep in mind I'm dealing with a lot of different companies that have a lot of different facets to them. But we've had orientation cut down to 1 day. 1 day. The whole thing's done. Everything. So by the end of when that driver comes in that morning, he goes through because he's already had his CSA, his hours of service training, his hazmat training. He's already had that taken care of. We're getting drivers not in every orientation, but some of the smaller companies that we have, we're getting those orientations done in 1 day. And the 2 day orientations that we had, they've been cut down to about a day and a half. What I found out is that, you know, I told you my skepticism in the beginning. There's no way nobody can do this. And as time goes on, I'm still finding out things that Infinit-I can do. And I think we started back in, I want to say July of last year, maybe, Matt. And I'm still learning stuff. And I'm finding out, oh, it can do this too. And, but so it was an easy transition. But the support team is phenomenal. And I heard Steve mention it today. You just give it, you just send it to them, and they just do it all. They literally do it all. I can call and say, I need one driver added because I'm on a conference call. Boom, they'll do it for me. Now I have the ability to do it myself, but they will do just about anything that you can add. Well, it depends on how you set them up. You can set up administrators, and for the most part, I've got a few people that are set up as administrators that are under me for the different various companies, and that administrator can help with some of those things. They can call the customer service, so I don't have to make all the calls to customer service. The customer service department, or the client services department, I guess is what it's called. They are getting calls from various different, and they're getting to know all these different companies. So to answer your question, I've got administrators that you can set them up as administrators, and they are helping out with the whole process. So I'm not burdened with trying to do it all myself. And that customer service, second to none. Second to none. It's not, you call and you put on hold. We're assigned somebody. Can I say their name? Mary Looper. We're assigned to Mary Looper, and Mary Looper is handling. And as Roadrunner, as we keep adding companies, I'm calling Matt and okay, we're bringing another 200 trucks on. We're bringing another 50 trucks on, and every one of them is, and Mary's handling all that. So she's dealing with a bunch of different people. So customer service uh, is her. her. And I tell you, one of the things too recently that Mary Looper did for me, we Roadrunners goes through so many changes. When you have that many companies, and then you said, okay, this company's merging with this company, and this company's doing this. I had Mary to take out a whole user group from one company and move that. I don't know how many drivers were in it. I mean, I probably could have done them, but I probably would have done them one at a time or something. But she took a whole user group out of one particular operating company and moved them over to another operating company. And then she said, I'll send you an email when it's done. And I'm thinking, okay, that's going to be a couple of days, same day. And then I looked up, she said, it's done now. I looked in there, and the whole user group was moved into another section. I think it was just mine. It's unreal of how good they are. With us, what we do is I get with the safety people, and you got to be careful with that because, and I know it's a bunch of safety guys in here, but once these safety guys see that those 750 videos, they go nuts, and they want the driver to see 500 videos before he comes to orientation. So, so what I had to do was at first I just kind of just have at it, and then I start looking at some of the templates that were being created, and they were having like almost 40 videos. And so what I did was another thing with client services. I called in and said, and I probably could have done this myself, but they were so nice. I said, can somebody add up the time period that these videos are taking? And it was like 4 hours worth of videos. Too much, too much. So what I had to do is, and this is one of the beauties of Infinit-I, I can customize each one of those 28 companies that we have. I can customize a template for that particular company. And so what I did was I got with the safety people and fought my battles with them and said, listen, this is orientation. It's not a safety meeting. However, orientation should contain safety information. So we got together, collaborated with safety people, created a template. Once the template is created, then we're off and running. The days of the Saturday morning safety meeting are over. No longer needed. I forget if a driver has an issue in one area, he's having problems backing up, send him the backing video, and you can always do that after orientation. What, 4 to 7 minutes per video, and they watch those videos, take you a break, watch two or three of them, take you a break, and because I believe that is the reason because of the shortness of the videos. I mean, you guys and I got, we've used videos in the past 30, 40 minutes long, and driver checks out in about 15 minutes. My boss, the one that told me that I was going to do this, the only question that he wanted to know, and I think Matt was on some of those calls, the only thing he wanted to know is, will this thing talk to TenStreet? Will it talk to TenStreet? Absolutely. Now, here's the great part about it. He was done then. He was like, sign it up, get it signed up. And what happens is, with TenStreet, you have the ability to go into TenStreet, send out the video modules through TenStreet. So a driver gets it right. Yeah, right. Send out Infinit-I videos through TenStreet. The driver gets an email. He logs into TenStreet. Does all his video. And here's the beauty of it. This is going to blow you away. Whenever he completes a course, that course, academic acknowledgement, downloads into TenStreet into the DQ file all by itself. I would send to the recruiters and to all the orientation facilitators, I would send them an email of what, two ways, of what it looked like when they got the modules sent to them through TenStreet. Would send them and show them what it looked like. So your driver is going to be getting this. If you want to, you can click on it and play with it. So they'll be able to tell that driver exactly what to do instead of just saying, okay, we sent you the modules and we don't know what it looks like. So I start sending out the emails to show them what it looks like. Then I also send them emails to show them what it looks like, that if they've completed orientation and safety sends you an email through Infinit-I, this is what it looks like. And that's kind of helped a little bit to ease the driver's minds a little bit. Yeah. As the manager of orientation, it's reduced the amount of time in orientation significantly. And so what I began doing was I began calling drivers after they've been on the road for 2 or 3 weeks and said, hey, what did you think about that orientation? They all, and overwhelmingly, they said, we love it like that. We loved it that we've completed all those videos with CSA and hours of service and all that stuff before we came physically to your location. So from that aspect, I've gotten nothing but positive reviews. But I haven't had many challenges. I think I did have a driver once, maybe once, 1 or 2 drivers to say they couldn't do it, and then we said, well, you can do it on a laptop. You can do it on your computer at home if you can't do it on your phone. But I haven't had a whole lot of that, and that's just me being honest. I haven't had a whole lot of drivers to say they can't pull it up on their phone. Because I want custom content. I want these company presidents and company operations guys on video. And another thing we're looking at too is that we got refrigerated companies, and we've got one refrigerated company that has a guy that is like a refrigerated trailer expert. We're going to videotape him and send it out to all the other reefer companies because he's that good, and he just puts on a phenomenal presentation when he's showing these guys how to operate a reefer unit. So that's one thing it does too. It helps us. Everybody's looking at the same video.